he or she, I mean in this case the narcissist, has already done the preparation, yeah, and has eroded your self-esteem, self-worth, and has genuinely made you believe that you're worthless without them, yeah, you're useless without them. So the only way forward, you know, for these victims then is to comply and listen to the narcissist and shapeshift according to their needs and desires and wants. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the 10 reasons why we begin to shapeshift in narcissistic relationships. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So narcissistic relationships are never secure, stable, and calm. There is lots of unpredictability in narcissistic relationships. There is extreme highs and lows. Good times are not that often. Yeah, mostly it's bad time. There is lots of gaslighting, minimization, invalidation. So narcissistic relationships are not like the healthy relationship that we see around. Yeah, I mean every relationship has ups and downs, and that's absolutely okay. But the major ingredient of every healthy relationship is conflict resolution and working things out together and growth. Yeah, so this is something that we can see in each and every healthy relationship. But when we look at narcissistic relationship, there is no growth. The victim goes down, the victim eventually hits rock bottom. Yeah, and the narcissist is the way how he or she is. So the narcissists keep sucking the vitality, the narcissist keep sucking the goodness, and in a lot of different ways, maybe seeking admiration, seeking validation, financial gain. There are endless ways how these narcissists drain their victim. So this is how these narcissistic relationships are. But when we look at a healthy relationship, we can see both people growing together. Yeah, there is mutual growth, people hear each other out. In narcissistic relationship, it's all about laying out the orders and the victim has to follow, and that's it. There is nothing called healthy discussion, but we can see a lot of healthy discussion, healthy criticism, disagreement in a healthy relationship. In healthy relationship, everyone has the liberty to express their mind, everyone has the liberty feeling or what's going inside of them, everyone has that liberty. But in toxic relationship or narcissistic relationship, the victims don't have the liberty to say what he or she feels on the inside, because the victim has been trained and conditioned to not prioritize himself or herself, but prioritize the narcissist instead. Yeah, so narcissistic relationships are in no ways healthy, and it's very different from a usual normal healthy relationship. Yeah, healthy relationship has this equal reciprocity that you can see amongst people. But when we look at narcissistic relationship, there is nothing called equal reciprocity. Yeah, that is not something which exists in narcissistic relationship. It's all about rules, and you have to follow it. If you don't follow, what comes next: lots of narcissistic rage and lots of bad stuff. So this is briefly how these narcissistic relationships are, and how they are different from the usual normal healthy relationships. Now, coming to the reasons why we begin to shapeshift when we are with a narcissist, or when an individual is in a narcissistic relationship, why does he or she begin to shapeshift? Yeah, the first reason is a fear of rejection. The victims are, as it is, alienated and isolated from their support system, friends and family. The victim has, no one else apart from the narcissist. The victim is badly trauma bonded with the narcissist. So now the victim has no other option. Now let me explain. Everybody has option, but in this case, when we look at the trauma bonding thing, between the victim and the narcissist, trauma bonding is, something like a super glue that glues the victim to the narcissist. The victim is unable to see the narcissist's abusive behavior because all of the abusive behavior is, shrouded and masked and, presented as care and concern. Yeah. So the victim is unable to realize, accept, and believe. The victim genuinely believes that, maybe the narcissist is stressed, maybe the narcissist is upset, and that's why he is doing this. Maybe the narcissist is doing for my greater good. Yeah. So, trauma bonding really messes up with your head. And regular gaslighting, what do you expect from such individuals who are being gaslighted on a daily basis? What do you expect from them? They, as it is, don't trust their own selves. They, as it is, have learned to betray their own self. They, as it is, don't believe their self. So, what do you expect from such individuals? So these individuals have a kind of an eroded, self-image. Yeah, it's not whole. Yeah, they cannot visualize themselves without the narcissist. Yeah, because they think the narcissist completes them. Yeah, the entire picture is completed only when the narcissist is there. Now, let me tell you, this is all happening inside, yeah, inside the mind of the victim. And this is because of regular manipulation, gaslighting, invalidation, minimization. So the victims genuinely believe that they have got no other choice. They have got no other option. There is no other plan. Yeah, they have to stick to plan A. That's it. There is no plan B, plan C, plan D. Yeah, all those things don't exist. So these victims, they are scared to lose the narcissist. They think, this is what it is, this is my life, this is reality, and in order to be in that relationship, I need to, comply, I need to obey, I need to listen to the narcissist. So the victim doesn't want to be abandoned. The victim doesn't want to be rejected by the narcissist, yeah, as someone who's absolutely useless and worthless, and the narcissist discards the victim. The victim wants to be of some purpose and use to the narcissist. And that is the reason why these victims get into this shape-shifting business, yeah, to suit and fit the demands, needs, and desires of the narcissist, yeah, so that the victims are still relevant, yeah, for these narcissists. The narcissists don't get bored and they move on to another supply. The narcissists don't discard them. So the victims start changing, start adapting, start behaving absolutely opposite, uh, from who they actually are on the inside. They start behaving absolutely opposite because they have been trained and conditioned to betray their own self. They have been trained and conditioned to keep aside their authenticity and to get into this pleasing business, please the narcissist, serve the narcissist, worship the narcissist. So yes, the first reason why victims get into shape shifting is fear of rejection. Yeah, they don't want to be rejected by the narcissist and discarded. Yeah, they want to be relevant. They want to be in that relationship. They don't want to be discarded and thrown away. Yeah, The second reason why victims get into this shape-shifting business is because, they want to avoid any kind of conflict, because they know that conflicts are very ugly. Yeah, when the narcissist throws narcissistic rage, it's ugly, it's unbearable. Yeah, the victims are aware of that, and they get that message loud and clear that I shouldn't make the narcissist angry. And because they know, and with experience, I mean, they have realized that every time they hurt or injure the narcissist is going to throw rage at them, and their version of rage and fury will be very difficult, very unbearable, very nasty. So the victims want to avoid all of that. They want to have some moment of peace and calm. So they get into this shape-shifting business. Okay, I'll do things your way. Yeah, because they don't want the narcissist to get angry. Yeah, because when the narcissists get angry, they do a lot of nasty stuff, triangulation. They'll summon their flying monkeys to further torment you, smear campaign, silent treatment, stonewalling. You are just speaking to them, and they will just ignore and walk out of the room. Yeah, so a lot of things happen, and that doesn't make the victim feel good. Now, on a side note, victim in general also doesn't feel good. It's just that the victims are glued with the narcissist because of trauma bonding. Yeah, they are trauma bonded to the narcissist, and they are just waiting for one good moment, one good day, one good time, or maybe tiny bit of crumb validation, and that's it. And the cycle goes on. They are trapped in that cycle. Plus, we know that narcissists are surrounded by a lot of their enablers and monkeys, and they are big time into rationalizing and normalizing the narcissist abusive behavior. And these monkeys, these enablers, they are like damage control team. Yeah, whenever they see that the narcissist is being way too harsh and rude and the victim might run away, they come into the scene and they say, oh no, he did it because he was under pressure. Oh no, you have to forget all of that. After all, she's your mother. Oh come on, she's your wife. Come on, he's your husband. After all, he provides for you. He must have done it because of some pressure, maybe external reasons. It's not you. He's actually a good man. Remember, 10 years back he did this for you. Yeah, you shouldn't forget that. So it's a kind of a very complex relationship when we look at these narcissistic relationships, because the good moments, the good times are not quite a lot. It's just tiny bit here and there. Yeah, once in a blue moon. And the victims then cherish that moment, that maybe second or minute or hour or that one day, and they choose to spend the rest of their life with the narcissist. They are trapped. So the second reason is to avoid any kind of conflict, because victims really find it difficult to tolerate and bear the narcissistic rage. Yeah, narcissists just become like demon. They'll make sure that you feel uncomfortable, you feel horrible, miserable, and this is to make you realize as to who the boss is in the room. Yeah, and of course in this case the narcissist is. So yes, in order to avoid conflict, victims get into shape-shifting. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, you want me to be this way? Okay, fine, I'll be this way. Yeah, this is going to please you. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Okay, you want me to leave this? I'll leave this. Okay, you want me to do this way? I'll do it this, in this way. Yeah, so all of that happens. The third reason why victims, get into this shape-shifting business is, they seek validation and approval. And this is, for, the children who grew up, in narcissistic families and who have narcissistic parents. So these children are again very trauma bonded. They don't have a very secure attachment with their parent. We know narcissists are self-centered in their own world, and lack of empathy. It's all about them. Yeah, So narcissists in general are not good parent. Yeah, they might appear to be good parent on the outside, but inside they are horrible one. And ask these kids, yeah, those who have cut ties with their narcissistic parents. Ask these survivors, yeah, how these narcissistic parents are. So yes, kids or adult children of narcissistic parent um, often get into this shape shifting thing, and this is to get validation and approval. Because I mean, in a healthy situation and scenario, everybody needs validation, everybody needs approval. It helps you, yeah, it helps you believe in your own self, and it helps you to do even better. Yeah, that's how we grow, that's how we evolve and keep moving forward. But in narcissistic relationship, all of that control is based on withholding validation, affection, approval. Yeah, so the narcissist controls all of that. The narcissist doesn't give all of that. Yeah, because if they are going to give all of that the way how a healthy individual does, the kids might not comply, the kids might not obey and listen. Yeah, the kids might not worship and serve the way how the narcissistic parents want. So they withhold all of these things, and this helps them to control the children better. So yes, seeking validation and approval is also one of the reasons why these individuals, these victims or adult children of narcissists uh, you know often learn to shapeshift. Yeah, they know that they have to do certain thing in a certain way, and if that pleases the narcissist is going to approve and validate. Yeah, and they learn this from a very young age. These kids, they learn it from a very young age that they have to be the way how the narcissistic parent wants, and if they are unable to be the way how they want, they are not going to get that love and affection. The other kid might get it. Yeah, the one who's the golden child or the one who is the obedient one. So it's like a rat race, it's like a competition. When we look at narcissistic families, the things are quite chaotic. The relationship between the kids and the siblings, it's almost like I mean, as if all of the kids are rivals to each other. There is this huge amount of sibling rivalry that you can see in narcissistic families. So yes, this is one of the reason why victims get into shape shifting. Yeah, because they seek validation and approval, and they have got no one else. They have been trained and conditioned to get it out of the narcissist. Yeah, that's like a reward. They are validated when they do things right, the way how the narcissist wants. So then tiny bit is given to them, tiny bit of validation, approval. So yes, that is one of the reasons why victims are into this shape-shifting business. Yeah, the next reason why victims get into shape-shifting is because these narcissists are very dominating. I mean, in narcissistic relationships, narcissists are control freaks. They are big time into dominating, and they are so much into overpowering, and they are so much into dominating the victim that the victim almost feels as if he or she is worthless. Yeah, he or she is useless, he or she is weak, and the best way forward is to say yes and comply and move ahead. Yeah, plus the narcissists are big time into gaslighting and invalidation. So they keep gaslighting the victim, they keep eroding their self-worth, self-esteem. So the victims uh, become very vulnerable. The victims become very emotionally, psychologically fragile with lots of manipulation, gaslighting, invalidation on a regular basis. It really erodes you from the inside, and you almost begin to feel as if you are nothing in front of the narcissist. Yeah, it's all the game of manipulation. Yeah, in these narcissistic relationships. So that is how these narcissists exert control, and that is how these narcissists make their victim feel that they are negligible, they are invisible, they are nothing in front of the narcissist. So the victim has to shapeshift to be relevant. The victim has to fulfill the needs and desires of the narcissist so that he is seen and heard tiny bit. And these narcissists are expert in making their victims feel miserable, useless, and worthless. With all that gaslighting, manipulation, invalidation on a regular basis, they can really make the victims feel as if they are worthless. They are nothing more than a furniture. Yeah, and that's a very bad feeling. Nobody wants to feel like that. Yeah, so these victims, they learn shape-shifting so that they can survive that relationship. They learn new things, they do a lot of things so that they are of some purpose and use to the narcissist. Otherwise they will be ignored, they will just be there, like a furniture. Yeah, so this is also one of the reason, this loss of identity in these victims. It's because of this, I mean, losing identity. Victims, often get into that shape-shifting business, that let me serve, let me be of some purpose, and then maybe I can exist, I can be of some use, and I will be a little visible in the family. Otherwise I will just be there like a furniture. The next reason why victims get into shapeshifting is emotional manipulation. Narcissists are big time into withholding facts. Narcissists are big time into twisting, manipulating things and situation and scenario, and presenting it in front of you. So narcissists are expert in manipulation, and they really don't care what damage their manipulation causes you, I mean the victim. So these narcissists are ruthless when it comes to manipulating their victim. They can go to any extent. Yeah, they can lie, withhold facts, add in salt and pepper, bring in their monkeys to support their theory, narrative, and all of that. And, all of that manipulation, you know, makes the victim genuinely feel and believe, about things in a certain way. And the victims have no other option. They just comply, they just say yes to everything, and they want a little peace and stability. So okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it this way. Okay, so this emotional manipulation that happens in narcissistic relationship is also one of the major reasons why victims get into this shape shifting. Yeah, they shape shift to be of some use and purpose to the narcissist. The next reason why victims shape shift in narcissistic relationship is because these victims, they genuinely start believing that if they don't change, if they don't be the way how the narcissist wants them to be, they might be abandoned. So this fear of abandonment you know uh, makes these victim shape shift. Yeah, they fear being abandoned, so they choose to betray their own self, they choose to betray their own authentic self, and they just follow whatever the narcissist wants them to do. So yes, fear of abandonment makes the victim get into this shape shifting thing in narcissistic relationships. The next reason why victims shapeshift in narcissistic relationship is because of low self-esteem and doubt. You know all of those gaslighting, manipulation, it erodes your self-esteem, self-worth, and you genuinely doubt your own self. Am I good enough? Will I be able to do things right? Will I ever be able to survive alone? Will I ever be able to move on in life without the narcissist? Will I be able to function without the narcissist? a lot of thing, comes, in the mind when you are with a narcissist, either in a narcissistic relationship or if you have narcissistic parents. And that is what this trauma bonding is. You're glued, yeah, and you are in that state of doubt. You doubt your own self, you doubt the others, you doubt everything. So the safest way that appears in front of these victim is to comply. Let me do things the way how the narcissist wants. Let me shape shift, let me do a little bit of change, let me tweak here and there, yeah, let me just be the way how he wants, let me just be the way how she wants, yeah, because he or she has already prepared the entire scene with lots of manipulation and lots of gaslighting. So he or she, I mean in this case the narcissist, has already done the preparation, yeah, and has eroded your self-esteem, self-worth, and has genuinely made you believe that you're worthless without them, yeah, you're useless without them. So the only way forward, you know, for these victims then is to comply and listen to the narcissist and shapeshift according to their needs and desires and wants. The next reason why victims begin to shapeshift or learn shapeshifting in order to survive narcissistic relationship is because of constant criticism. When a narcissist criticizes, that criticism is not healthy and constructive. That criticism is wild, toxic, and nasty. Yeah, I mean it can be very damaging. Yeah, they criticize with a lot of contemptuousness inside of them. They criticize with a lot of vindictiveness inside of them. You can see in their choice of words when they criticize and when they target you. You can see it, you can feel it, yeah, that it's all hate, anger, and rage. It's not healthy criticism, yeah. Plus their criticism includes a lot of this passive aggression also. So overall it's not just exchange of words, yeah, and it's not the way how healthy individuals have disagreement and maybe a little bit of argument. It's not like that, yeah. It takes a very horrible turn, yeah. You have caused them narcissistic injury, or you are doing things your way which the narcissist doesn't approve of. They are going to belittle you, they are going to dehumanize you, and you can feel it, yeah. It's not the usual criticism, yeah. It's not the usual criticism that we can expect and imagine. It's much worse than that, yeah. It's nasty, it's vile, and it's filled with hate, rage, contemptuousness, vindictiveness. It's filled with all of this, yeah. So the victims really don't want to be criticized on a daily basis, because that criticism is much more than criticism, yeah. What the narcissist does, that criticism includes dehumanization, that criticism includes summoning summoning their flying monkeys. I mean, these narcissists, they summon their flying monkeys and further torment their victim. They might summon their enablers. The enablers would start gaslighting. The enablers are then going to further criticize you, minimize you, dehumanize you. So it's not just the narcissist, yeah. The narcissist is going to bring in a lot of people, yeah. They are going to triangulate things. They are going to bring in a lot of people into the scene to make you feel even more miserable, yeah. So it's not just one and one healthy criticism, a little bit of disagreement. No, it's worse than that, yeah. So it's nowhere close to criticism. Let me make that clear. It's nowhere close to criticism. It's almost like a smear campaign. Their criticism is somewhat a bad version of criticism, along with smear campaign, along with lots of gaslighting. along with bringing in other people also, the enablers and flying monkeys, to further torment you. So, their criticism is, this, combined version. Yeah. Their criticism is not the usual criticism. Yeah. So, the victims don't feel good when the narcissists criticize them. So, in order to avoid that, and be belittled and be dehumanized by the narcissist and by the others as well, I mean the narcissist gang, it's better that I shapeshift. It's better that I comply and, okay, fine, I'll do it your way. Yeah. I really don't want to go through all of that. Yeah. Because when the narcissist criticizes, it's not just him or her alone. Yeah. He or she is going to make sure that they are going to bring in another, of his fellow narcissists or her fellow narcissists, enablers and monkeys. Yeah. So it's a very dangerous, form of criticism, which has lots of abusive and manipulative things in it, and one genuinely doesn't feel good, yeah, going through all of that. So the best way is shapeshift, survive this narcissistic relationship. The next reason why victims get into shapeshifting is because, victims are made to feel and believe that it is their duty to make the narcissist happy. It is their duty to, please the narcissist. Yeah. And that happens over a period of time. And, there is a lot of gaslighting, manipulation, involved in all of this. And, these victims, uh, they genuinely feel obligated that I need to do this for her. I need to do this for him. Because these narcissists, they are expert in, playing with, the victim's guilt and shame. They are expert, yeah. And they know, what buttons to press, yeah, when to make you feel ashamed, when to activate shame inside of you, when to guilt trip you, when to give you payback reminders, when to emotionally blackmail you. They know all of it. Yeah. So the narcissist might say, well, I did so much for you, I wonder if you would be able to do anything for me. I don't expect anything from you. So the victim automatically, you know thinks that it is his or her duty to do exactly the way how the narcissist wants. Yeah. The victim genuinely feels and believes that it is their responsibility, it's their duty to make the narcissist happy. Yeah. So the victim genuinely, doesn't want to feel guilty, because the victim is gaslighted on a regular basis, the victim is scapegoated on a regular basis. Victim is being, pressurized and manipulated by the enablers and monkeys. The narcissist is withholding love and affection on a regular basis. The gaslighting is eroding all that self-esteem, self-worth and confidence from the victims. So the victims are in a very bad state, if you know what I mean. They are not in a good state psychologically or emotionally, and in some cases physically as well. So, they really don't want to go down there. They really don't want to experience. Yeah. They really don't want the narcissist to, you know make them feel guilty. Yeah. Because all that, manipulation and gaslighting has already done the magic. Yeah. The victim automatically, begins to feel and believe that it's his or her duty to please the narcissist and take the responsibility of narcissist's happiness. So, you know as a part of, keeping the narcissist happy, these victims have to, betray their own self. These victims have to betray their authenticity. These victims have to shapeshift. Yeah. So, and the last reason why victims get into shapeshifting is because narcissists are very controlling, and they take help of a lot of things when it comes to, controlling the victim. These narcissists, they get into manipulating things, they get into gaslighting on a regular basis, summoning their monkeys. In some cases, these narcissists are physically violent and abusive. They get into verbal abuse, they get into all sorts of things to control their victim. And I mean, that's who these narcissists are. They don't see their victim as a fellow human. They see their victim as a punch bag, emotional toilet, a doormat, a pet, and that's it. So, uh, in order to self-preserve these victims, they know how the ride is. They know how things are with this narcissist or in this narcissistic relationship. So, to self-preserve, they learn that shape-shifting is the only way. Yeah, because I'm unable to run away, I'm unable to leave the narcissist. The best thing is comply, do the way how he or she wants me to do, and that's it. Yeah. And maybe that's what is in my fate. I mean, they genuinely feel and believe. Some of them really give up. I mean, in today's time, of course, people are becoming aware and they are seeing the red flags, and some of them are running away. Yeah. Not all of us, are um, that blessed to come out of the narcissistic relationship. For some, I mean, some of the victims, they are in that difficult zone. They are in that difficult spot where it's not easy for them to, come out of the relationship. So, yes, in order to self-preserve, victims believe and learn that shape shifting is the way forward. So yes, this was the 10 reason because of which the victims learn and they get into this shape shifting business in order to survive that narcissistic relationship, in order to have some bit of peaceful moment. Yeah. And in case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Please don't ignore the red flags. Narcissism is way more common than we can anticipate. Being with a narcissist is very antagonizing for your soul, for your spirit. Yeah. So don't ignore the red flags. If you think you are with a narcissist, you know what you need to do. Yeah. Maybe try gray rock method, or emotionally distance yourself, or work on yourself, and try and become independent. And if things go, I mean, extremely bad, if things are very difficult for you, the only way forward then is to cut off your ties, yeah, with the narcissist. But if you can, it's very good. If you cannot, then work on yourself, emotionally distance yourself, have radical acceptance. What you're dealing with, that person is not going to change. Yeah. And you cannot change them. No matter you do what, they are not going to change. They are going to be the way they are. Yeah. So yes, this was all about shape shifting. Please take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.